Bring you back to Johannesburg, where students at Wits University have vowed to intensify their protests. Top of their grievances is the issue around exclusion. Let's go back to our senior reporter, Silindelo Masikane, for an update around that. Sli, I understand that there's something that's intensified in the last few minutes since we spoke to you?
Well, you'd remember that when we last spoke, Maseko, we were making our way through the streets of Brahman towards one of the entrances of the Wits University. Now, students had planned to go back inside, reconvene, and be joined by some of the workers of the university who want to join their protest in solidarity. But it seems that security personnel in the university is not going to allow them in, saying that students who want to come in will need to use the biometrics gate. So you're going to have to scan your hand, and if you're registered, obviously the bars will open. But of course, we know that with this particular protest, many of the students, at least 4,000 from this university, have not been registered, and today is the last day. Hence, they've taken to the streets over the past few days. But I am joined by one of the student leaders from the EFF Student Command. Thank you so much for your time. Maybe just give me a sense as to what you want to see come out of this protest action. As you see, security seemingly will not let you back into the university.
So as the EFF Student Command, I'm really sorry about that. As the EFF Student Command, our stance is very clear that we want every student that is financially excluded, not students that are owing below 150,000, because we understand, because of the material conditions that most people in South Africa find themselves in, even 150,000 is a bit too small, because you have an increase of fees on a yearly basis, and students then don't have funding, they don't have proper ways to pay for accommodation. So that means that they incur this debt on a yearly basis, and this debt increases on a yearly basis on interest. So we are saying that every student that is financially excluded, every student that deserves to be on campus, and the only thing that's holding them back is finances, should be allowed to register with a matter of urgency, because as we stand right now, Wits is on its second week of the academic calendar, and this then will present a problem with students that haven't registered. They will fall behind on work, and then this will create issues in terms of even them getting financially and academically excluded again next year. So Wits is also complacent, and it's complicit in students not being able to register and students incurring debt on a yearly basis, because every January we come here and we have the same demands, and yet Wits seems aloof and they don't want to meet our demands. So that's our stance as the EFF Command.
And then moving forward, I mean, you won't be allowed inside. What then is the plan in terms of addressing or having a conversation with management?
Management at this point is very arrogant, and they just simply don't want to come to the party. They don't want to sit with the students that are here, firstly. They don't want to sit with the different student formations that are also here to map a way forward. And we've seen this on a yearly basis, that management is simply not willing on a yearly basis to meet students where they are. And we are saying this protest is going to continue until the management either comes on the ground to meet all students and tell these students what they've been telling us in boardrooms. They need to come and account to the students that have come to them. And I think management in itself is very, firstly, the issue we have on campus is of student lynching, right? And the lynching of student activists. As we stand, there are many students that are suspended already. And the message that the university is sending to these students is that you have no right to protest, you have no right to challenge management. And this is wrong, given that in South Africa we do have a right to protest. And what the message they're sending out to student leaders is instilling fear and saying that if you are going to be on the streets and if you are going to fight for your right to education, you are going to be met with suspensions, with exclusions, with rubber bullets on the streets, with people victimizing you in the streets as well. And as the EFF, I think even students within the university, students outside the university, civil society should also take a stance against this, because the lynching of student activists means that protest action in South Africa will not happen, because these people are your future leaders. And as South Africans, we do have a right to protest, and it's very important for us to exercise that right, because that's the only language that management seems to understand. And yet still, when we do protest, they want to lynch students, they want to suspend students, and I think possibly we need even other people outside the university to intervene, because it's wrong, and it's unconstitutional.
Thank you so much for your time. All right, I'm going to ask Tebogo to just give us a picture of the address that's taking place right now, Maseko. But as you can see, what we are seeing right now outside of the university premises is a number of students who marched through the streets of Braamfontein COVID-19 after a meeting early this morning to intensify their protest action with regards to the issues around financial exclusion of many students. It is 4,000 students here at the University of Wits. From what we understand from the SRC, there have been engagements since around January with this year with management with regards to how they can assist these students, and it seems that they are not meeting or finding each other in these meetings, which the result being this protest action that we're seeing that began in earnest yesterday. But Wits is not the only institution that's faced protest action. There have been a number of universities across the country, including the one just down the road, the University of Johannesburg, with regards to the issues or the plight of students who essentially are previously disadvantaged, and this for them, this higher education will be the way in order for them to be able to unlock many opportunities, not only for themselves but to perhaps remove their own families out of poverty. So the promise right now, from what we understand, is that the protest action will continue. Students are currently being addressed by one of the student leaders, but from what we've heard from some of the addresses, security will not let them in because they believe that some of those who have joined the protest may not be students.
All right, senior reporter Silindelo Masikane live for us in Braamfontein. Let's leave it there for now.